Do another video log of my medical trips up to Utah. I just got back. Wanted to get down some thoughts and what we talked about before I forget. I don't think I did one last time when I went up in March, but you can check my blog for what we talked about. And basically, what happened last time was I was really sick, nauseous and dizzy, and loss of hand-eye control from the combination of XOLAIR and CELLCEPT. So we stopped that, went back on Cyclosporin for the immunosuppressant, and stayed at 125 milligrams, which was a good level to be at from the previous experience about a year and a half ago when I was doing my best, and then later on we tapered off to alternating 100 milligrams at 125 every other day for CellCept. But seems like 125 is where I have a good comfort level with a little leeway, so I can eat more, because on the days when I drop it down to 100 milligrams, I need to be really careful with food, and it's very easy to flare up. So 100 is every other day, and 125 alternating. That's probably the lowest I can go without things really acting up in my body, spending more energy to fight off the reactions. And so it seems like 125 milligrams on CellCept, it's what's holding the fort down, and it allows me the food, but with the food comes a lot of other improvements in the quality of life. I can exercise more, I have more energy to do things, my mood is better because I don't have to starve myself and only stay on the Big Mac, McDonald's, and fries meal once a day or less than that, and kind of starve myself on EllCare. So this is what they decided on. That when I saw Dr. Leiferman this past Thursday, July 19th, she was really happy with how I was, even though my skin was, my face was a little bit worse than I'm looking now. I was flaring up red because the week before, 2 weeks ago, actually went on a video music shoot to finish up the When Boy Meets Girl series that I'm producing for Shane Kanoa. But just being out there on 2 of the hottest days in LA for 2 straight days kind of really irritated my skin and some of the smoke around there. So I was flaring up. So it was good that Dr. Leiferman got to see some of that, not in a perfect condition. But even with that, she felt like this is a good level. Dr. Leiferman was really happy with my strength. I wasn't cold this time. I was a lot when I went up there before. So my body temperature, the skin quality, my muscle tone, I guess that's from being able to exercise more. For a while, I was able to play basketball half an hour a day, and playing ping pong pretty actively for about an hour every day. Compared to before, I wasn't, the previous 6 months, I wasn't even really able to get out of bed or do anything or even able to think. So this is such an improvement that she was saying the difference between taking 125 milligrams every day as I am now versus alternating 125 and 100 milligrams a day of Cyclosporin is not that big of a difference, that the added benefit of staying on 125 every day is worth it. And all my blood tests, you gotta be very careful with Cyclosporin. It's pretty toxic for it's heavy on the liver and kidneys and a couple other things, but all those tests are coming in fine. My blood pressure fine, normal. So just gonna stay on that. She liked how my skin was doing, the quality, even though I thought my face was flaring up a bit. She was looking at all the other parts and thought it's continuing to improve. So I'm continuing with the same skin care, which is getting a tiny bit of sunlight, even just sitting out in the shade for an hour or so while I'm working on Ducey stuff in the backyard, and that's to replace the UV light treatment I was getting before, where more than a year ago I was getting burnt a lot, and that was damaging all the skin that we have built up for so long. So I had stopped that, and now the sunlight and the shade, just being out there getting some UV in the skin, is helping the quality of it and helping it to grow back stronger. And still taking the baths. I was putting in half or a quarter cup of bleach for every bath. Now she thinks I can back off a little on that and just put in the same amount of bleach for every other day's bath. And the bleach is to help kill off some of the bacteria on the skin, as people with eczema and other skin allergies would. So it's just trying to keep off the extra layer of irritants on the skin. Same with I was putting on Muciprocin in the nose and in the ear to help with the bacteria in there. I'm going to continue to do that. As far as skin ointment goes, the topical ointments, staying with fluocinonide for some of the thicker and almost a place where I had a little bit of nodules before. The reddest parts, but there's not a lot. The rest is using triamcinolone on the body, desonide with the skin, with the face, and protopic mixed in for both the body and the face to help with the topical steroids like desonide and triamcinolone. So protopic is in there in a mix all the time. With the antihistamine combination, the cetirizine, which I believe is Zyrtec, over the counter, with the Pepsid generic is also antihistamine, and doxepin. Haven't been using that a lot because that, although that does help, that's not allowing me to do a lot. That makes me really drowsy. Even on 10 milligrams, I'll get knocked out for about 12-15 hours, and even when I get up, I'm going to be drowsy. So I really want to find maybe a lower dose. They suggested maybe try the 3 milligram one, so I can go 3 or 6. It might help, but I'm really feeling that these antihistamines are helping with some of the little tiny reactions I'm getting, while on the cyclosporin base. Sometimes little irritants like something in the air, somebody's perfume, maybe something a little dirty. I'll get little half a centimeter hives scattered around. They're not in bulk. It's just one here, one there on the leg or on the arm, but the antihistamines I feel like do help. And when I eat things that, that I'm more allergic to, let's say chicken or rice, and if I eat those 2 days in a row instead of going back to just Big Mac and CELLCEPT, I'll start getting phlegm, or my throat will feel like it's clogging up a little bit, and with my nose is start clogging up a bit, and the antihistamines, they are helping. I do feel different, so that combination of those three is working. And the last thing that Dr. Leiferman thought about adding is Gastrocrom again. Adding Gastrocrom back. I tried that early on a couple years ago when I first started seeing them, and just never didn't feel much of a difference, I guess because things are so bad back then. But we're going to try that again now, because Gastrocrom is supposed to help your mast cells calm down a bit. Mast cells produce the histamines. So in an allergic reaction, it's at the last part of the reaction chain where the histamines come out, and it starts causing your skin to flare up, or your stomach to have diarrhea or swelling, or even, I guess, vomiting in some allergic reaction cases. But Gastrocrom is supposed to help both that internally, so allergic reactions in the gastrointestinal tract, and on the skin surface, which is good. So I might be able to eat a little bit more, or just feel a little bit more comfortable when I'm eating food, instead of getting a reaction every time I do. Now I need to drink Coke after every meal just to calm my stomach down from the allergic reactions. Maybe that'll help, and I don't need as much caffeine getting me all screwy. So, and Gastrochrome might also help the nervous system's reaction to allergies, because that's what happens to me. I guess it's not as well documented, but I have a lot of my nervous system reacts when I have allergic reaction. So I'll get nauseous, I'll get headaches, sometimes lightheadedness, sweating. So, kind of feel like I'm anxious even though I'm not. It's just I'm reacting to something. Usually it's in the air. So Gastrochrome has the potential to help with that. But otherwise, I'm just gonna kind of hold the course. Interesting question I had for the doctors was, should we go back on XOLAIR? Because apparently that had brought down my IgE count from 22,000 to about 4,900 to 5,000, and that's a dramatic drop. But the thing is, for the allergies, I didn't feel anything different. I didn't feel any improvement, and then on top of it, I was getting getting nauseous. I'm able to do anything. I'm really able to think clearly. So the idea is to just hold off on that for now. We don't need to risk that again. And because that didn't show any promising improvements, that was noticeable physically. Just because something shows something on a test, improvement on the test, doesn't necessarily mean it's really helping. And I was haven't thought about that, but it makes sense. And what Dr. Leiferman was saying is, it's possible that XOLAIR helped reduce some of the IgEs, but in only in certain areas or certain types that the blood test measures. So the IgEs that the blood test measured dropped by whatever percentage that was, right? But my overall IgE count might not have really changed all that much, because it didn't feel like it did. So at this point, we're unable to figure that out, and there's no other tests and treatments to for somebody like me with conditions like IgE this high. It's uncertain. So we'll just take take those test results with a little skepticism, and we can probably revisit XOLAIR a little bit in the future. But I mean, at least it's working for other people that tried XOLAIR, that heard my story, and think it'll work for a lot of people, because most people aren't as bad. Even with Shane, I think his IG is 1500 or something, which is pretty bad already. It's making a definite improvement in his skin and allergies, so it's definitely worth a try for most of you. So Dr. Gleick, I saw him on Friday, July 20th, and he he thought that if Dr. Leiferman's happy with the skincare and the food allergy, then we should hold the course, because she is very detailed and it's hard to make her happy. So if she's comfortable with how I'm doing now, and keep it up, get stronger, and no problems with Cyclosporin now, we're going to keep that. So he started thinking about how we can improve my overall quality of life, and thinking of other things that would help boost my overall energy and health, as opposed to focusing on the food and the skin, which we're taking care of the best we can now. So there's not a whole lot we can try with that without rocking the boat, like what happened late last year with the XOLAIR and CELLCEPT. So he thought, he was looking at my notes from before, and thinking I have a high Th2 immune response, which is your white blood cell T helper cells, Th2 response. That's for allergies. So that is way overactive, and we want to balance that out with the Th1 reaction, so the Th1 and 2 kind of cancel each other out. So to do that, since we can't really calm down the reaction from the food side, we haven't really talked about the reaction from environment, my allergic reaction to the environment. So we're looking into that. Did some blood tests for plants, pollens in the LA area, molds, dust mites, things like that. And if possible, we can there are some allergy therapies for the environment that'll help, that should help with those areas. And if we're able to calm down my reactions to the environment, calm down my reactions to the environment, it'll also reduce my Th2 response to balancing it out more with the Th1, and that would be a more than a one-to-one improvement. That'll give my overall system a big boost. So it's not just about the environmental issues, not just when I come into contact with a specific tree or a specific animal. Taking that allergy therapy and bringing down the Th2 level would free up more energy and resources throughout my body. So either I can get more rest, or that the energy that I free up would go towards helping the food allergy, but that will be the only area that we have to defend against now, instead of food and environment. So there should be a double benefit to improving my Th2 levels, bringing that down. So that's the main course of action now. We'll see. Get those test results back soon and see if I can start those allergy therapies. It'll probably go on for quite a while, but we don't anticipate any negative reactions like with the XOLAIR. This, I guess, is a little bit more common, or they have a little bit more experience with it. Until then, I'm gonna just enjoy how I'm feeling now with the new energy and uh, the ability to do more things, get DC launched, get all the music videos out,